What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. And I'm here today with my good friend Dustin Hippensteel. He is a new painting contractor, seasoned veteran in the contracting industry. He used to own a construction company. This is our second business breakthrough. So, the first one we discussed really what he needed to do to sell paint jobs in person, kind of refine some of his skill. At this point, selling paint jobs is not his weakness. It's something that he's naturally good at. Really, the weakness in his business, and not necessarily weakness, I'd just say an area that he needs a little bit more focus and attention on, is building the teams to fulfill the demand. And an interesting thing about Dustin in this business breakthroughs, we uncovered that he's got something that many, many contractors wish they had. And really, I thought, I just really didn't do anything but help him see that in a different light. So this is a great business breakthrough if you're interested in really just diving into the details of someone that has the sales ability and needs to really combat that with the ability to create a production system to keep up with the sales. So awesome episode here. I'm excited for you to dive in. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. All right. Yeah. All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Business Breakthrough. I'm here with Dustin Hippensteel with Sugar Sands Painting. This is our second chat, man. So it's exciting because we can get all the foundational things out of the way. Really it's just a matter of, last time we spoke, it was more about your sales process. Did you take some of those things that I mentioned to you and implement them? I know one thing that stood out to me was not doing colors in the house. That was one thing we spoke about. So tell me about what's changed since last time we spoke.
Well, like I told you that day, I had like 4 or 5 estimates to run out and do. I actually gained 2 more estimates while I was out doing stuff. So
Nice.
I think I hit 7 that day total.
Nice.
And I implemented a lot of what we talked about instead of just doing square footing and how I'm addressing everything with the customers in home. And it helped. I think we landed 2 or 3 of those.
Cool.
And we had 4, but the exterior outside I kind of got beat out by a general handyman that came in and seen my estimate and lowballed me. So not much you can do about those guys.
We have a saying, it's called NMC, the acronym NMC, and that's not my customer, man. So if somebody can look at me and see my presentation and see the value that I built and still go with like a handyman type guy, that was never my customer to begin with.
Exactly.
And I use that. I take that to heart because like you can get, man, you get discouraged sometimes, when you're like, man, well, why did you go with that person? And it's like, there are literally some people that are just not your customers. So
and that's okay. That's okay. Part of it is just learning that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, man. That's how they buy things. And people kind of get it confused. You got some people that just search for the lowest price in everything that they do. And sometimes they got to go through that learning curve, man. Usually the best customers are the ones that have been through a bad experience and can justify the good experience. And we're the same. I think if you have went to a restaurant that wasn't very good, you can appreciate paying a good dollar amount for a restaurant that gives you good service and gives you good, so on and so forth. Sometimes that
absolutely
happens. So what direction are you heading in now, man? What's going on in your business? What's an area that you feel as though you just kind of just want to maybe get a different perspective on? Anything in particular?
Nothing really in particular right now, other than sales, man. There's always something to learn.
Hammer out that sales?
What's that?
You want to hammer out sales? I love sales.
Yeah,
man.
we can keep jumping into that, man. I've been making some adjustments, trying to fine tune some things, and it's been going well. We've got a pretty good project lined up in the next week or 2 that we're going to be hammering out. And
so what's your team look like? How many guys you got?
2 guys right now.
So it's just you and 2 guys. So you're selling for 1 crew currently?
Yes.
Okay. So, and that's hard because you're probably a pretty good salesperson already, and you're probably booked out pretty far, right?
I'd say right now we're probably about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's see, and some people brag about that. I'm not thinking that you are, but it's not a good thing. It really isn't, because it's number one, it puts a lot of stress on you, because you know that there's some people that even if you did everything right in your sales process and you freaking landed it, you can't even touch it, because some people do have a time constraint that you're unable to hit, right?
Absolutely.
So think about that on a grander point of view. If you hire a salesperson, right? Let's say you wanted to hire a salesperson. The problem with that is, in a company that does under $1 million and the production can only handle $1 million, is that this happens too frequently, where the salesperson may do everything right. You may spend money on marketing, you may get them to the door, they may sell the job, but they can't produce the job because the production is too slow. There's not enough of it,
Yep.
you know? So as much as I'd love to talk about sales, if you're 4 to 6 weeks out, I mean, we could talk about the processes a little bit. We got to figure out how to get you production.
All right. Well, how do we narrow in and build a culture where I can have guys that are going
Building
to
a
work hard
culture.
and stick
Love
around?
it. Absolutely. So tell me about the two guys you have right now. Who are they? Like what are they about? Are they all stars, or do you have one all star that you trust to run the job and then he kind of watches the other guy? What's the dynamic look like there?
So one guy's old school guy, been doing it for a very long time, 50 years, painting
Got it.
everything, little
Got
handyman
it.
stuff in here and there. But for the most part, he likes to paint custom homes. And that's really where I like to be at too, because I mean, NMC, we don't want to have everybody not our customer. And
Right.
those $500,000 to $1 million homes, they really care about quality, and they want to make sure they're paying people that they can trust. So I've been working with him quite a bit. We've done a few projects, and I've been in the field working with him on projects. We've hung drywall together. We've taped and mud and
So is this the
painted
guy that's
stuff.
running
And
the job currently?
pretty much I'm still running the jobs, but
Okay.
I know that if I show him the scope of work and leave him on
You
site,
can leave.
that we're going to be
In
able to
other
run
words,
in
you
the right
can
direction.
you can leave the job with this guy.
With
Yeah,
both of them, yeah, I
both of
really
them.
can.
The
Once I
other
get him
guy,
set up, and
is the other guy
basically
an older guy or is he a younger guy?
he's actually younger. He's a longtime friend of mine. He moved from the Keys up to here to work with me, and things have been going pretty good.
Love it.
We've had some adjustments we made along the way, and
So he
I think
moved
just
here. He moved here to work with you.
yep, yep.
Wow. So look, as an outsider looking in, man, you have absolute gold right now, man. And I think, dude, if everybody had your situation, sky's the limit. The strategic advantage of my company and all the companies that are winning are the companies that have those types of guys. So I'm just looking at it like this: the only way that you can grow is if you have project managers. You can't grow with painters. You need project managers that you can say, okay, here's the scope. This is what you do. Here's the scope. This is what you do. And then you get out of there. And you got to be able to live your day without worrying about the job. So you can go sell and you can go market and you can grow your business.
Yep.
Until you get to that point, you're going to continue to find that, you're just going to be kind of overworked. I mean, you probably are. You're probably doing work on the job and then you're going to the estimates tired and you're not able to be enthusiastic. Is that true?
I don't know that I'm not able to be enthusiastic. It's just kind of my nature, but I
You
definitely have
couldn't
some
be as you
days
couldn't be
where
as enthusiastic if you woke up and kept the polo on from the morning until you'd be a lot more enthusiastic.
probably, probably,
So
probably be pretty annoying to everybody, but that's all right.
that's all right. Hey, but instead of, I'm just saying, long day at work, come and do an estimate in the afternoon, there's just it's a different feeling, it's just different. So where I'm getting at is you have two great guys. It sounds like, I think it's about you pitching the vision to each one of these guys and saying, look, this is what we want to do. We want to branch out to 2 crews. And you'll have to decide whether or not you want to do 2 crews of 2 or 2 crews of 3 in the beginning. I mean, I think 2 crews of 3 should be your light post. That should be
Yeah,
where you head. That should be like, that should be your focus. Because right now, you could easily keep 2 crews busy, easily. With way you sell, 4 to 6 weeks out, no problem. You already have 2 leaders, dude. I mean, you don't even got to find project managers. So it's just a matter of you finding painters now and pitching the vision to these guys, and especially the guy that moved. I think that, just saying, if it were me who moved with you and you gave me an opportunity to be a manager,
and kind of gave me that authority, it would increase my morale. It would make me feel like, all right, cool, we're getting somewhere here. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to him kind of being a subordinate of the guy who, obviously knows probably much more than him. But that doesn't mean that he can't run a job. Thing about it is when you get into custom homes though, you got to do a lot of fine detail work, man. I'm talking like you're dealing with, staircases that have crazy spindles on them, right? And you got like all this craziness. I wouldn't try to make that your main focus, because you got to be a production company just as much as you want to be a specialty company, in the sense
All
that,
right.
and here's why. Because the labor pool out there isn't able to accomplish fine finishing, specialty work, brush work, detail, oil painting sometimes, like that stuff. That's going to cause you stress in finding people to put under these guys. Although I say, yes, not my customer, that doesn't mean that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house people aren't great customers. It's just there are some people that just do not value quality over price. So where I'm getting at is don't like think that you just got to find custom homes. Like there's plenty of people
No,
out
no,
there.
I definitely don't just search for them, but when we do get them, we're able to kind of filter them through the process and make sure
Yeah.
that they're a good fit for us and we can run with what they want. I
Yeah,
do like
absolutely.
doing the 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, four
They're my
bedroom
favorite.
houses where we can just come in and do a repaint on them. I mean, who doesn't
Right.
like that, you know?
Nobody, man. It's the best. And the thing is, you can do exteriors all day, every day, too. I mean, that's the beauty of living in Florida. But I'm just saying from this perspective, and I don't know if you thought about this at all. But for me, it's like you already have two leaders, man. And it's interesting because the two guys that are running my crew, both of my crews now, were once subordinates of people that I kind of had to like see leadership in them, and kind of like plant seeds about it and say, hey man, you keep doing a great job. I could see you running a crew one day. Both of them I said that to. And
All right.
here they are. Yeah, man. And it's like, it gives people something to strive toward, and it builds morale. And if you got two guys, man, your job at this point is to find painters.
True. And it's tough, man. It's really tough. Is there a
Have you tried?
certain way that you go through and vet your painters before you bring them in, or do you?
Absolutely, man. This is the topic that everyone really just tries to like find out, because whatever people do now is like it's just a lot of people hire out of desperation. When you hire out of desperation, you compromise your standards. And when you
Mhm.
compromise your standards, then dude, I'm so sick with the way I hire. I mean, it's just one of those things that I see that as more valuable than sales, marketing, and production, dude. So you want me to give you kind of my little process that I have?
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
All right. So the first thing you want to do, this is the most important thing. All right. Is you got to put out an attractive ad that targets personality and character. All right. You don't want to just, if you look on Craigslist in your area right now, go look at what other people are posting about. Hey, looking for painters, driver's license required. Tools, if you have tools, that's a plus. Call Joe, and they put Joe's phone number. Okay, so Joe on the other end is getting random phone calls from anybody with a pulse, a driver's license, and tools. How can
Yep.
he? How can he make a good decision on who he's bringing in? He can't. It's impossible. So what I do is once I post that, I have them fill out a form. That form asks them a bunch of questions about who they are, what their experience is, and it gets all that information in one place for me. Okay. From there, I look at their name, I Google their name, and I put it in Facebook. I put it anywhere. I do a public search on them. Okay. I see what I can find. Dude, do you know how many times I've done that? And I've seen crazy charges, news articles, bro, of
Oh yeah.
people. Dude, I'm serious. Just from like
I've got a
putting
guy with my exact name in Nevada that is a meth head that robbed an old lady and stole her car and all went on a police chase, all this crazy stuff.
Oh
So
my goodness, dude. See, I mean, it's like, but it's easy to do. And it's like, it's all about a filtering out process. So if you get past my little check there, then I'll look at your form. I'll go through it. If you say the right things in that form, I'll say, okay, great. I'm going to give you a phone interview. So next thing I do is I text them or email them a nice little structured message that looks professional. There's something about, um, even though we're a small company of like 9 employees, I want them to feel like we're big. Like, because if something is hard for somebody to attain, then they're going to value it more than if it was like, hey, man, come on in tomorrow and come work with us. Like,
Okay.
what is that? You know what I'm saying? That right there is like just super unprofessional, man. And I want to attract people that, and I say this, that's my analogy, man. When I give somebody an interview, I want it to be the topic of conversation at the dinner table with their family. Like, oh, I got an interview with a really good company. And the same breath, when I give someone a job, I want it to be a celebration at their house because they feel like they achieved it rather than, hey, come on in and work with us. Like, what is that? Like, it's
Yeah, I
nothing,
got you.
So phone interview, text them, hey, give me some dates and times. I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it. The guy was just like, yes. Did you see that post I put?
That was real.
That was real. Yeah, 100%. So some guy just literally just said yes.
Did he follow up with anything ever, or is that just where he
Nothing.
left it?
Nothing. He just said yes. And people were like, give him a chance, or maybe he doesn't speak English. Number one, I knew he speak English, so that was out. And even if he didn't, I'd have some compassion. And my wife is Hispanic, so I mean, I understand that there could be a language. There wasn't. It was just somebody that didn't care. Like, if like you really wanted a job and you really wanted to be a part of our company, you would probably read that text message more than one time and say, "Oh crap, I didn't say what times I could be available. I'd apologize. This is me, you know?" And again, like my thing is, and the point I made was, if you start making excuses for people before you even hire them, what are you going to do when you're on a job? Oh, well, he didn't know any
The
better.
standard's already been set, and you're going
Standards
to
already
have a
been
lot
set
of
off
issues.
the bat, but some people hire out of desperation, and they say, okay, well, does 2 p.m. work for you? Like it's kind of like you're chasing a relationship. Like you're like, you're trying to like get somebody to like you. And as a business, you can't do that. That's not how it works. So for me, even though that guy was qualified, he passed my couple checks there. He had a good form. He had good experience. He had a good resume. Boom, right there. I cut him out. Done. No chance I'd hire him just for that. So that's how detailed I am. Now he's done. Now let's say someone does respond and do it right. Phone interview, man. Quick phone interview. I'm looking for a couple things. Number one, did they answer the phone when I called? If you don't answer the phone when I call you on the time that I say I'm going to call, you're out. Number two, what do you sound like on the phone? I mean, do you sound like you just woke up at 1 o'clock? Big difference between somebody that's a little bit energetic, that you can tell is interested, man. And it's like, there are people out there like that. And it's just a matter of what you accept. Like, if you're okay with somebody sounding like, hey, man, like, dude, I called this one guy on a phone interview and literally he sounded like he just woke up at like 2 o'clock. And I was like, hey, man, do you want me to call you back? Like, I just was joking with him. I'm like, hey, you busy?
What do you end up telling? Yeah, give me a call back about half hour.
No. He's like, no, I'm good. Yeah, man.
I've ran into that before. So,
bro, and it's like, this is the filtering out process, right? So, okay, so let's say we have a good phone interview. I asked them a couple good questions about their experience, why they want to work for us, what they did in their previous job, why are they unemployed, and if I'm okay with all those answers, and I do ask, hey, you will be required to submit a background check. Is there anything you want to mention to me? Hey, do you need to have a driver's license? Are you good with all that? So I get all that stuff out of the way. Great. Let's set up an in-person interview. I did a couple of Zoom ones. Those are just as good. In-person interview. When I do an in-person interview, I meet at Starbucks or something like that. Sit down with them. Couple things I'm looking for. Number one, did you show up on time? Number two, do you smell okay? Number three, are you presentable? Did you actually take pride in the meeting today? I had guys show up like, dude, looking like they were just going to Walmart, bro. And that's their standard. Totally fine. Not our standard. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody else who owns a painting business that might be cool with whoever comes in just to paint, no problem. I owe it to my customers to make sure that they're getting quality. If I'm going to
yeah, and
sell
I
quality,
definitely I understand that, and that's one thing that I liked about my guy Isaac that came from the Keys is when he was on his way up here and we were going over everything. He said, "Hey, do you have a certain uniform you like me to wear? Do you
love it.
have a certain time you do
Boom.
this or a certain time we do that?" And he was already thinking ahead, and he had his mindset in the place of
Ace.
how are we going to do ABC to make this all work? And he
Love it.
showed up. He said, "Man, I shaved my beard up. I trimmed up real nice. I'm not going to look
Dude,
homeless going into
he
these homes."
values the opportunity.
Absolutely.
There's nothing greater, man. He's a unicorn. We call those unicorns. They do, bro. He's a unicorn. That's why you got 2 unicorns right now. So let me continue and we'll chat. So next thing is the in-person interview. So a lot of people stop here and they like them and they say, all right, you're hired. Not me. I know better. Okay. Guess what? Listen, as much as I really want to just hire you, we do have another step of the process. It's a working interview. So you're going to work with our team for a week. Okay. On Friday, we'll do a review to see if you're a good fit for us. How's that sound? Great. You're going to get the best week of work out of somebody who really cares, by the way, in this here. You're going to see what they're about. And guess what? Do you know how many people I've done this with that didn't make it through the week because they knew it was coming? They just called me and said it's not a good fit because they knew it was coming, from the project manager. And the project managers know. They're like, all right, well, we'll work them. Let's see what they're about, and they'll be doing grunt work. They'll be cleaning sprayers, see what their attitude's about. I tell them to do it because I want to see if they're a team player. I'll take somebody that tells me that they know how to paint everything and they spray and all this, and they will be cleaning brushes. They will be doing the grunt work. I go to job sites and I pick up trash. That's the type of business owner I am. Everyone knows that you're in my business. Like, you're not like, I don't care how good you are. You're going to do everything and be a team player because that's not what we're about. So that's what we try to do during the working interviews to see what they're about. Some people will be like, nah, I'm not doing that, man. And then no problem. You're out.
Yeah.
That's it. Good luck to you. It's not my guy, so it's like, if you make it through that, and then of course, during that week, I'm doing a background check. Sometimes I'll do it before. It really just depends on like what the timing is. If like I'm confident in them and I'm like, all right, let me do a background check. Background check.
Do you have a
takes 2 days.
specific company you like to use for background checks?
Yeah. Clear checks, dude. I just found them month and a half ago, 2 months. Phenomenal, dude. All you got to do is put in their email and boom, done. The email address gets sent, the email gets sent, and they fill it out. And then within 2 to 3 days that, you got a background check. Phenomenal. Clear checks.
I'll have to check into them.
Clearchecks.com. So easy, $39. And it's worth it. I mean, just to get, and I've done it on my guys so far, clean. Everybody said what they said, was honest. So perfect. So after that, you do that working interview, then you offer the employment. I mean, if you make it through my process, and I have done this, I have quality people working for me, because there's no way that you can't get through this process if you're not a motivated individual, you have high standards, and you're a team player. There's no way. But some companies don't have any of that, and they get an applicant and they're like, all right, can you come tomorrow? And then they wonder why they're in the position they're in.
Yep. I've been down that road. I've seen that. So
yeah, you've been in the construction business, so you've probably seen it more than me.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. So out of what I've told you, are you doing any of those things currently? I mean, obviously, most likely not to that extent, and you probably haven't had to yet because you're kind of comfortable with your 2 guys. But are some of those things going to be something that you implement?
Yeah, in the past, I did cover a lot of this when I was doing a hiring process and everything with my building company, and I haven't really had to do that yet, but I know it's coming. So this is a good refresher to make sure that I'm hitting all these points. And you brought up quite a few extra ones that I'm going to definitely bring into play and see how they react. So,
yeah,
because now that I have 2 good people working with me, I want to make sure that I capitalize and bring in more good people so that we can continue to just grow upon that.
Absolutely. And you're not going to branch off the 2 right off the bat. What's going to be great is you bring in another person. Cool. Now you got 3. I worked with a team of 4 and 5 on one job for a while, just to build camaraderie, teamwork. And then I separated them. And then we went in, and then I had 2 teams of 4. And it's like, it's all about the people. You can't grow a great company without great people. It doesn't exist. So nurture that. And I think that if you weren't thinking about hiring, dude, you should be hiring right now. And hiring doesn't mean acquiring. Hiring means canvassing right now. When I say hiring, I mean, you should have ads out. You should be pulling in people, because the best applicants that you're going to find, 2 people. Number 1, the guys that move into town from another place that aren't working for somebody right now, that want a great opportunity. Okay. And number 2, people that want a better opportunity than where they're currently at, which in our industry, not hard to accomplish. Okay. Really not. So the question I have for you, why would I jump ship from where I'm currently at to work for Sugar Sands Painting?
The culture that's in development as we speak. the guys I have working for me want to work with me. I treat them right. I don't bullshit them on anything. I mean, can I say that on here?
Yeah.
I take care of them. I talk to them like they're people. I talk to them as though how I would want to be talked to.
I love all those things, but here's the thing. None of those things I'm going to know until I
you're
meet
there.
you. Right. So how do I, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you attract somebody before they meet you to say, you know what, I want a better opportunity with Sugar Sands Painting? That's something you need to think about because again, first thing you need to do is understand our culture as an industry is pay by cash, write the checks at the end of the week, no stability, no structure. So you take all those pain points that 95% of your competition do because they just, the trade is so poor, and you make those highlights in your ad. Hey, W-2 employee. Hey, paycheck every week. Hey, payroll company taking out taxes. Hey, what's another thing? Talking about, you can hit on the culture a little bit in those ads, but just make sure that you're highlighting some things because what we're trying to do is attract people to jump ship to a better opportunity. And it really just depends on how you pay too, because, you're going to have to make, kind of decide where you want to start with and what you're looking for, right? Because if you had to look at your guys, you have 2 A players right now. Those guys can run the job. They can do all facets of painting mostly, right? They can spray. Do they both spray?
Yep.
Okay, they both spray. So you need the next person you need is a B, letter B, right? This is somebody that just knows how to cut and brush, doesn't really know how to spray, and doesn't need to know how to run a job because you already have your 2 guys that run a job. So you got to look at what are you paying your A guys, okay? And then what are you going to pay your B guys, all right? And then you look for C guys, which are helpers, man. It's easy. Now helpers don't need experience. They don't. You can teach them how to paint. So it's like once you get the B guys, then you get some helpers. And then now you have 6 employees. It's that easy. And then if you have good helpers, eventually they'll turn into B guys. Eventually those B guys will turn into A guys. And now you have an organization that's growing internally. The best type, dude. But it's all about you being a master recruiter. Think about it. You like college football?
A little bit.
A little
I don't
bit.
watch
You
too
heard
much
about it.
sports,
You know
honestly.
about it.
Oh yeah.
I'll make it simple. The best college programs are good at one thing: recruiting. They recruit all year. They don't just recruit when they need players. They are recruiting kids in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
They understand that the sale, which is the brand, the production, which is the game, okay, and the marketing, which goes hand in hand with the brand, okay, is nothing without recruiting the right talent to come in there and do the job. And when you have quality talent coming in there, not just talent, but good people, sales is easy, right? I used to sell cars, man. And I worked at Toyota. There was a certain confidence I had because I'm like, Toyotas, man. You're going to go to
It's a good car.
Nissan? It's because you just know that the production is that good. So you have like some free confidence to happen. So that's your job, is to build that up. What you have now.
Gotcha.
I know you go in there like, yeah, my guys are going to crush this job. No problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it gets a little harder when, you grow your teams a little bit.
Understandable. That's why it's important to build these guys now and make sure that we're all on the same page.
That's it, man. That's it. So, the hiring process, man, are you going to start hiring? You're going to do some hiring soon?
Probably. I mean, now that we're booked out a little bit, the company's been growing. We've been able to network and reach out to a lot more people within the community. I really think the time's coming to start doing that. Do you use like monsterjobs.com or anything like that?
There's a lot of them. A couple I'll rattle off here: Craigslist, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Facebook. Just get it out.
Have you
there,
had more
man.
luck with anyone in particular?
It's. I wish I had an answer for it, man. One season will be Craigslist, one season will be Indeed, one season will be ZipRecruiter. Right now, it's tough, man, because I think everybody got their taxes, and like their stimulus checks. Everybody's just taking a little vacation. I don't know what it is, man. I'm having a little trouble. on all the channels, man. I have Indeed ads out. I have ZipRecruiter ads out, Facebook ads out, and it's been a little slow, but everything's seasonal. But that's okay. I'm good for right now. That's why it's important to hire even when you don't need to hire, so you have a pool of applicants to draw from.
Yep.
I have 180 applicants sitting in a Google form right now, where I can draw from at any given time. No, you got to just be creative, man. You got to definitely be creative. That's the game changer, man. Is getting quality help.
Oh, absolutely. Always is.
Always is. And that's the hardest thing, man. That's what stops companies like us from growing, is not being able to find good help. So, just take all that into mind. And then, sales goes hand in hand with that. Once you have that quality production, if you want, we could chat about that another time. But I think right now, man, if you're 4 to 6 weeks out with 2 guys, it's time, man. You're graduating.
Time to step it up a little bit. Keep the fire hot.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to chat about?
No, I mean, that pretty much covers it for now.
Cool, man. Right on. Well, good luck to you, man. And hopefully next time we chat, you'll be telling me that you have 2 crews and you're 4 to 6 weeks booked out. Then we'll talk.
All right. Sounds good,
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Dripjobs CRM is finally here. That's right. So Dripjobs is an automation platform for contractors, home service professionals that's going to automatically follow up with your customers. It's going to allow you to send invoices, estimates. It's going to allow you to send out blast marketing emails to individuals based on where they are in the buying process. This software is next level. And I'm reaching out to you. You're a listener of this podcast, and I want you to be one of the first ones to give it a shot. So if you want to see what Dripjobs can do for your business, I'd love for you to head over to dripjobs.com, sign up for a free demo, and get your team involved, and let us sit with you and show you how powerful this software is. It's going to save you time, it's going to make you money, and you're going to love the features that are built into Dripjobs. So if you want to check it out, head over to dripjobs.com. And we will give you first priority, being a podcast listener, to be one of the very first to try out Dripjobs in your home service business. I'm super excited to share that with you, and I'll catch you on the next episode.